We are living in historic times, no doubt about that. A once-in-a-century global pandemic, a renewed fight for social justice and equality, and a heavily virtual school experience. These are the things that will be written about in the history books one day. But as students are heading back to school this year, at least one metro district is saying what's going on in the world right now can't be ignored in the classroom. Rockdale County superintendent writing a poignant letter about how it plans to tackle these crucial conversations in the virtual classroom. Here's Christy Diaz with more.
This is indeed a very challenging time for our nation amid social unrest, tragically stemming from both unfamiliar and familiar crises.
You wrote a very thoughtful letter. You tackle social justice head on.
The popular civic impulse compels many to come together to unmask a persistent epidemic of a different but no less lethal sort. The recurrent and violent deaths of unarmed African American men and women at the hands of law enforcement personnel.
Why did you feel it was important to address this in your letter from the superintendent?
I thought it was very important, and I still think it's very important, to be very candid with our community in addressing that issue and really speaking to the fact that we understand and accept as a district that it's our responsibility to address those concerns, say what can we do as a school district to have those critical conversations and crucial conversations, but end up in a better place, unified.
Rockdale County Public Schools will leverage these challenging times as authentic teachable moments for our staff and especially our students to engage in constructive dialogue and action, in part guided by relevant curricular standards.
What does that curricular connection look like in the classroom?
You don't want to teach in a vacuum, but you want to identify those intersections and those connections within your curriculum with what's going on in the real world. And we're not talking about going off on editorializing and personalizing and or proselytizing. We're being proactive with identifying specific professional development to be able to effectively navigate those type of controversial and sensitive topics.
I would be remiss if I did not publicly commend our local law enforcement in Rockdale County. The programs that we have in place whereby officers get to engage directly with students in a constructive manner lay the foundation for positive relationships between our communities and law enforcement.
Why did you feel it was important to recognize not only local law enforcement in Rockdale County, but also your school resource officers?
I wanted to make sure that I go on the record as commending our local law enforcement as well as our SROs, while also honestly and candidly acknowledging that we have work to do in the larger sphere when it comes to community policing. We know that we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect with this. We're going to continue to learn and get better and better, and that includes the superintendent.
Rockdale County lost one of its school resource officers over the summer. Deputy Stephen Miner died after his battle with coronavirus, and Superintendent Terry Oates said his memorial over the summer spoke volumes about the relationships their school resource officers make with the students there.
I bet, Christy. And he also mentioned another personal reason that he sat down to write this letter. What was that?
He did. He used to live in Brunswick for many years, so he knew of the Ahmaud Arbery case, and that hit really close to home for him, especially after a couple of very tough conversations with his own teenage children. Shiva.
An impactful letter, that's for sure. Christy, Rockdale beginning school just yesterday.